Interracial dating in today's society. Do y'all think it's possible? I don't know. But I got a couple that hit me up and they said that they want to talk about it. Interracial dating. What are your thoughts? 2020. Let's go. And I have on the line with me Mr. and Mrs. Swirl. How are y'all doing today?
I'm doing all right.
I'm doing all right. How about you? How are you doing, Mr. Runaway Child?
I'm doing pretty good. So how has life been treating both of y'all?
It's been going pretty good. Just trying to make it through all this COVID-19 and all this other racial injustice.
Okay. Yeah, it has been a lot of that stuff going on here lately. And I know y'all gave me a call about, some stuff that you all wanted to talk about and some stuff that I wanted to talk about. Just to enlighten the people on some of the things that may go on or that have went on. And, just kind of put some things on their brain to think about. If the viewers don't know or the listeners don't know, I have a interracial couple, the fiance being a black woman and the male being a white man. So, Mr. Swirl, how is it in your relationship dating a black woman in today's society?
I mean, this is my son's mother is, a black woman, and this is my second and only relationship, and both of the women have been black. And I, not gonna say, I don't see color. I do see color, but I don't really, I don't try to please everybody else or my family. I just try to, do what's best for me and what makes me happy.
Right. So, Mrs. Swirl, for you, how is it dating a white man in today's society?
For me, I've never been a person that's like, oh, I gotta date you because you're white, or oh, I gotta date you because you're black, or whatever other race you are. For me, it's all about the type of person that you are. So,
right.
I call myself a good man, and he just so happen to be white. And I also have my daughter. She's biracial, but she's Asian, so she's half Asian and black. So for me, it really doesn't matter as long as you're a good person. And right now, it's just so much crazy stuff going on. So it can be a bit challenging, just because racial tension seems to be at its high or at its peak since I've been alive in my 26 years of life. So there's a lot of conversations that need to be had, and we talk about a bunch of different racial topics, and
right.
It's just a little bit different sometimes.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about, so you know that we can inform the people on some of the things that you guys may go through. So, what made you date outside of your race? Was there any other things going on, or did you just, like you said before, you just was looking for a good man and you just so happened?
Yeah, for me it doesn't matter. It ain't that I'm just specifically speaking to date outside my race, but if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. So it's happened. This isn't my first interracial relationship. Like I said, my daughter's half Asian, so it doesn't matter to me.
Right. So it wasn't out of rebellion or anything like that, right?
No way. And then on top of that, my dad's half white. Right. My dad's half white and my mom's black, and it don't matter to me. So neither one of them are.
Okay.
Concerned with who I'm dating as far as their race.
Right. That was one of my questions as well. So have either one of you guys ever dated someone of your own race?
I've never dated. I've did other things, but never dated.
Right. So you mean sexual? You've had sex
yes.
with the same race, but never dated.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. And how about you, Mrs. Swirl?
Yeah, I've dated within my race.
Okay. And so how long have you and Mr. Swirl been a couple?
3 years.
Okay. And so do you believe that love is blind?
I don't believe that love is blind. And when you say love is blind, you mean as far as like love sees no color?
Right.
Okay, yeah, I totally disagree with that. I think that's just not very accurate because, for one, I believe that love is a choice. So you basically choose who you're going to love, who you're going to be there for. And to say that you don't see color is completely disregarding the person as a whole. Like, yes, it's not just about color, but to be dismissive, I feel like saying that you don't see color is being dismissive as somebody's culture, as who they are as a person, like their upbringing. But because I'm black, like I've experienced different things than the next person, a white person or an Asian person. So for you to be like, yeah, I don't see color. No, I need you to see my color. I need you to acknowledge it, and I need you to be happy with it and to respect it. So I don't want you to not see my color. See my color, but that's not all that I am. But I still want you to see it.
Right, right. And so, how about you, Mr. Swirl?
I'm very strongly leaning to what she said, but I do prefer when I was single and ready to mingle. I was definitely looking for one race in particular. In my opinion, from what I've always seen, white girls are plain Jane, don't have no rhythm, just dull.
Right.
You get a black girl, they got some class, they know how to move that thing, you know what I mean? And on and on and on. I mean, it's just more positives than negatives.
Right. So with your family, did your mom or your dad or anybody, did they have anything to say about it, Mr. Swirl? Did they have anything to say about you, coming up and dating outside of your race?
Yes, absolutely. My dad doesn't talk to me for that specific reason. He's, a redneck deer hunter, doing stuff like that, riding a motorcycle with the rebel flag and stuff like that. So, a Confederate flag. And he don't talk to me no more. And my mom, she sort of kind of plays it off. She's not real strong as my dad is, but whenever I was single, she kept showing me pictures of single white women on dating sites and just kind of being pushy towards the white race.
Right.
So I don't really have any family. Growing up, they was pretty much if you're in an interracial relationship, it's not good. It really couldn't give me real definition. It's just saying it wasn't good, because I think that's what they was taught, and that's a lot of things these days, just what people's being taught. If you actually ask people, they couldn't give you a real reason.
Okay, so do you think racism is taught, or do you think it's just born in someone?
I think it is taught, just like this might be off topic a little bit, but pit bulls are they're known to be aggressive or whatever, and they say every pit bull is aggressive, and it's just the way that they've been taught.
Right.
So that's the same thing. This stuff don't just arise. It basically, it's what's been taught, and that's my opinion. Just a bunch of uneducated people just making up all kind of stuff just because of the skin color.
Right. So, Mrs. Swirl, do you all have kids?
We don't have a kid together, but we both have biracial children.
Does racial injustice play a role in you all's relationship? Like, with all the stuff that's going on, you watching it on TV or you watching it on social media or something like that, and you all may have a disagreement on whatever. Does that play a role in you all's relationship? Maybe Mr. Swirl is leaning towards one thing and you're leaning towards something else. Or can you guys compromise and say, okay, well, I see where you're coming from, and you say, I see where you're coming from?
I would say I don't think it plays a huge role in our relationship, but it definitely does have some effect in our relationship, because we had a conversation about BET Black Entertainment. We had a discussion about that. And
if you're trying to, bring everybody together and everybody, be looked at as basically their personality and the way they carry themselves, then why do you have, a separate show just for black people. It's kind of like contradicting on what you're trying to do, in my opinion. And she said, well, MTV and VH1, there's basically white, but it's not like white entertainment. It's not like black entertainment.
Right.
Just because it's called black entertainment doesn't mean that a white person can't watch it. And then on top of that, when we were having this discussion, it was the BET Awards, and I'm like, okay, babe, come here, look real quick. You got Robin Thicke and Tori Kelly on at the awards, so it ain't just because it's for black people. And then I was trying to get him to understand that there's always been things for white people on television, and when black people were on television, they were shown negatively, or they had white people doing blackface as black people and stuff like that. So it's the white people. There's always been something for them, and like I said, on these TV stations, just because it's not called white entertainment doesn't mean, the majority of the crowd that watch it, that's what that's who's geared toward.
So have you guys ever been out and been racially profiled? Because I see the stories where when another black woman sees a black woman with a white man, she kind of looks at her funny or try to pick conversation with her, or you see a black man and he sees a white man with a black woman, and I have seen it myself, so I'm asking you guys, have any of that ever happened to you all?
Personally, there's probably people that stare, but nobody has been bold enough to say it to my face. But I will say, on social media, I posted a picture of me and Mr. Swirl on Facebook, and I got people in my DMs saying, you giving all of that to a cracker or something like that. I people that come sideways or say funny stuff on social media because they know that he's white and I'm black.
Right. So what about law enforcement? Never from law enforcement or anything like that?
Oh yeah, I've had several instances. When I was with with my baby mom, and I had the jacked up car with the big wheels. When I was younger, and tinted windows, and every time they would see that car, and obviously have a black woman in the passenger seat, they would always come and pull me over no less than 4 cars deep every time. And every time they searched my trunk, they searched my I had little trees in there because I like air fresheners, and they would say, why you got so many little trees, and then I just wash my laundry at the laundromat. Says, why you got all these fabric sheets in the floor, so I definitely whether that be from the car, the way the car looked like a drug dealer car.
They thought you was moving that dope.
Yeah, but I think it was a lot to do, with the black lady in the passenger seat as well.
Right.
Every time, even before and even now, when I go places, people just stare, and I didn't, verbally ask them, why the fuck are you staring, but I get that, the only way I could think is, because I'm an interracial couple, and they look, I think the white people look down on me because I somewhat downgraded or whatever, but in my opinion.
Whoa. Use some different terms.
Yeah, but that's what
you mean in their eyes,
yeah.
They think that you downgraded.
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's just every time we go places, even we went to the NASCAR race, and people was just staring the whole time.
Right.
So that's the only thing I can think that they would be staring at.
So have any one of you guys ever been in a fight of anything because someone disrespected your relationship, or pertaining to you being in a biracial relationship?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
I
Cool.
think so. No.
So have you guys ever had a fight with each other or anything like that because either one of you may have felt disrespected by the other?
Disrespected because of something some racial.
Yeah, racial. You may have had a disagreement. He may have had a disagreement. So y'all couldn't see eye to eye, and you told him, "Hey, Mr. Swear, you sleeping on the sofa tonight."
Would we use the instance from today?
Don't do that.
Might as well just go ahead and be honest.
I did not mean that.
But just go ahead and tell.
I'm not telling him that. I'm not telling Runaway Child that.
We'll keep that secret, Mr. Swear. We will keep that secret. We are not here to cause any confusion.
We'll go ahead and say it. We can say it. You know how everything came out with Nick Cannon saying, I don't know if he said all white people are animals, or he said something about white people being animals.
Right.
I told Mr. Swirl about it, and he was, commenting on it, but he was like upset about it, and he's like, I'm like, well, I don't blame him. I basically agree with him, and he got so upset with me. He's like, oh, so you think I'm an animal? I'm like, sure, whatever, but obviously I don't really mean that. If I took it upon myself to accept your engagement, I can't really think you're an animal. And I said, white people that's how white people see black people, as animals. They paint black people as animals and savages. They did that for so long. So now that, and I would say they're the ones who were savages and animals. They're the ones that, beat a whole race or, enslaved the whole race, and they want to call black people savages. But you guys, what are you?
Right. And you're not saying that to Mr. Swirl. You're just trying to get him to understand, like, the whole.
Why I don't blame Nick Cannon for saying that.
Right.
Basically.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't really, understand, until, after the fact, because when I, heard that, I kind of, the face got red. How white people's ears get a little red. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I was like, well, you might be in the, the dating the wrong person, because you're obviously in a relationship with a white man, and you say that he's an animal.
So let me ask you this. Do you think it's more acceptable to see a white man dating a black woman versus a black man dating a white woman?
I don't know. I would like to say that it's equal, but I think it's more acceptable for a black man to be with a white woman versus the other way around, because a lot of times when you see a black man with a white woman, the white woman is usually out of shape and not really good looking. So that's what you see a lot of times. But then when you see a black woman with a white man, usually, luckily, me and Mr. Swirl were both very good looking people. However, a lot of times you see like a beautiful black woman with an average Joe looking white man, or he might even be ugly. But it's like, I think it just depends. So I want to say, I think in the black community, some black women feel like the black woman has done herself a good thing by being with the white man, versus when the black man is with the white woman.
Right.
With the black woman in the community. Then it's like, but she ain't even cute, or she ain't got this, or she ain't got that. We don't want you anyway. I feel like you see less
attractive black man than white woman.
Yeah, and I feel like
they're always. 9 times out of 10, they're always out of shape.
Right.
Yeah.
So last question, you guys. Last question. Do you think that the race wars will ever end?
I think eventually they'll end. Will we be around to see them end? Probably not. But when all these people die off that are racist, because this, like I said, I feel like racism is taught also. So once those people die off, but I don't see it happening no time soon. I don't think it will end no time soon. People are always going to be racist.
Right.
Maybe centuries from now, maybe that'll, be a thing in the past, but
right.
I don't think it'll be anything that I see in my lifetime.
So when you say people, you mean all races. All races have some part of racism, correct?
I'm not necessarily saying that. I do feel that, a lot of people feel that black people can't be racist because they're oppressed. But I will say that, you have black people that don't care for some white people, and you have white people that don't care for black people. However, where my difference is, you will see a lot more hatred that comes along with white people racism than black people not caring for white people. The white people are so hateful, not all of them, but the ones that are racist, they're so hateful and racist that they go out of there with their evil. Like, you see way more cases where you got a white person commit a hate crime on a black person, lynching them, or even that case that happened in Wisconsin where the white man just went up on a random 8-year-old woman and just threw lighter fluid on her. If you go look up some, I went just for the hell of it, I went and searched like white people being lynched. There is way more, like 4 times higher percentage of black people being lynched. You won't even find no cases of white people being lynched. You know, if you type in black person being lynched, you'll find something current. You'll find something recent. You won't find that white type of a white person being lynched. So that's why I say with their racism, they're hateful and they're evil. Like, for a black person, they don't care for you, but they're not gonna bother you. We just gonna do our own thing, basically. But the white race people, they're just evil. So I'm not gonna say all of them, but they just go out of their way to be malicious and attack people versus a black person that just be like, I don't fuck with white people and that's that.
Right.
In my opinion, Mr. Runaway Child, basically, you know, I agree with her, but I do know of a couple people, black people, that's racist against their own kind. So that exists as well. But I think it's small, and definitely the black on the white is small. But I think the black on the white racism, I think that it's got something to do with the older people, you know, that actually went through that stuff, you know, the slavery, that might, you know, definitely, you know, had a bad taste in their mouth for white people, you know. But I know, like, you know, in my generation, you know, I was born in the 80s. I think maybe 85 and before, you know, might have some issues, but anything, you know, around my age, you know, 30, in the 30s, I don't think so, man. You know, I mean, everything's pretty much mixed up at this point. You know, a lot of different kind of mixed kids and, you know, mixed people going on, you know, more than it was back in the day.
Right. Okay,
so
that was a lot back in the day. They just weren't a couple. The white people just raised the black people, and that's where that mix came from. Right. It was happening. They just didn't take ownership of it.
Right.
Okay, so in 10 seconds, can you give me a detailed statement of someone that was looking to be in an interracial couple or be in an interracial relationship? Can you give them advice on what they should do and should not do? Mrs. Swirl.
Well, I don't say look at it as you're just going into the relationship to be with a white or a black person. Just love somebody for them. You choose to love them and be with them. Just be happy. Live your life. Don't care about what the next person say. If you're happy and you're secure in your relationship, or if you want to, you know, be with somebody else, go for it. Don't let the next person deter you from being with somebody just because they're of opposite race than you. Because you might be missing out on a great person. Hey, they don't have to be opposite race to be a great person. Still be somebody from the same race as you.
You know, at the end of the day, long story short, you have to live your life. You can't worry about what's going on. You can't worry about, you know, what this person thinks, that person thinks. You just gotta, you know, find your way in line and just, you know, do the best you can.
Right. Well, you guys have been great. I appreciate y'all calling. I appreciate y'all watching the channel. Please tell someone to share, to like, to comment on our videos. Once again, thank you guys, and I will be talking with you all shortly.
All right, we appreciate it. Runaway Child, hey, keep putting out that hot dish, man.
Will do.